Astronomers have stumbled upon something deeply unsettling in the early universe. A group of objects so strange that many researchers say they don't qualify as galaxies at all. They look nothing like anything we expected to find from that ancient era. When the Webb telescope pushed farther back in time than ever before, peering beyond the cosmic dark ages, what appeared on scientists' screens stopped them in their tracks. We're taught that the universe began around 13.8 billion years ago, but these odd structures Webb is seeing don't fit neatly into that story. In fact, they sit so awkwardly within our current timeline that they're forcing astronomers to confront an uncomfortable possibility. Something about our understanding of the universe may be seriously wrong. Cosmology itself could be on the verge of a major rethink. In response, several Nobel Prize-winning scientists have suggested that the early universe might have looked nothing like what our best theories predict. Some have even dared to ask a far more radical question. What if the universe didn't really have a beginning at all? What if what we interpret as the early universe is actually something else? Something we haven't learned how to recognize yet. Under the standard lambda-CDM model, which depends on cold dark matter and dark energy, many of the objects Webb is detecting simply shouldn't exist. They seem far too massive, crammed with far too many stars, and formed far too quickly. There just wasn't enough time, or enough normal matter, for such enormous structures to assemble so early. To make the math work, almost all the known matter in the universe would have needed to collapse into these objects, which flat out contradicts everything we know about physics. So what exactly has Webb found at the edge of the observable universe, and why are scientists saying it could change everything? We've known since 1929 that galaxies are moving away from each other, not because they're flying through space, but because space itself is expanding. What's harder to wrap your head around is that this expansion has no center. Wherever you are in the universe, everything else appears to be rushing away from you, as if you're standing at the middle of it all. Even stranger, this expansion isn't slowing down, it's speeding up. Distant galaxies are receding much faster than nearby ones, and when Webb looks deep into space, it sees galaxies tearing away at staggering speeds. Beyond a certain distance, called the Hubble sphere, galaxies appear to be moving away faster than the speed of light. They're not breaking the laws of physics. Instead, the space between us and them is stretching faster than light can travel. And it's right at these extreme distances, near the very limits of what we should be able to observe, that Webb is finding objects that seem impossible. At first, common sense rebels. How could we ever see light from galaxies that are fleeing from us faster than light itself? If their light can never catch up to us, seeing them should be impossible. And yet, the universe plays a trick on our intuition. We can still see galaxies beyond the Hubble sphere because that boundary isn't fixed. It's expanding too. As space continues to stretch, the Hubble sphere grows outward, gradually bringing even more distant galaxies into view, including ones that are currently receding faster than light. Space isn't breaking the rules of physics, it's bending our expectations. Still, there is a final limit. Scientists call it the observable universe, a vast cosmic bubble about 92 billion light-years across. And near the edge of that boundary, James Webb is revealing objects that hint the universe may be far older, far stranger, and far more complex than we ever imagined. When we aim our telescopes toward the farthest edge of the cosmos, we don't see stars or galaxies anymore. What we see instead is something far more ancient, the faint afterglow of creation itself, known as the cosmic microwave background. That's because looking deeper into space is the same as looking further back in time. Light doesn't arrive instantly. It travels, and the farther away something is, the older the version of it we're seeing. One of the most distant galaxies ever identified appears to us as it was when the universe was only about 290 million years old. Here's where it gets unsettling. That galaxy no longer exists within the observable universe today. Whatever it has become now, new stars, new galaxies, or something else entirely, we will never know. Its future light will never reach us again. And yet, the universe doesn't simply stop there. Beyond the observable universe lies more space, more stars, more galaxies, possibly stretching on forever. That edge only exists from our point of view here on Earth. From somewhere else in the cosmos, the observable universe would look completely different. According to standard cosmology, everything we can see, and everything beyond, was once squeezed into an unimaginably dense state often referred to as a singularity. But that idea only makes sense if the universe is finite. If the universe is infinite, and mounting evidence suggests it might be, then it was always infinite. The Big Bang wouldn't have happened at a single point in space. It would have happened everywhere. That means the first galaxies didn't form in one special region. They formed everywhere at once, even in places we can never observe. Matter itself appears to have emerged across all of space simultaneously. The cosmic microwave background we detect in every direction is the echo of that moment, the first light released by matter throughout the entire universe. And now, the Webb telescope has delivered observations that are putting our most trusted cosmic theories under intense pressure. We expected Webb, when peering to the very edge of the universe, to reveal the first stars and primitive galaxies slowly taking shape. Instead, it found something far stranger: intensely bright, unusual objects that don't behave like early galaxies at all. Astronomers have spent months trying to figure out what they're seeing, and so far, they don't have answers. In a recent study published in a leading astrophysics journal, researchers reported the detection of 87 possible galaxies that may have existed just 200 to 400 million years after the Big Bang. That announcement sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Why? Because our current models say the universe simply shouldn't have been able to produce that many galaxies in such a short time. One of the study's authors admitted that even if only a few of these objects turn out to be real, it would force scientists to rethink how galaxies formed in the early universe. One image in particular has completely captivated researchers. It shows a bizarre early object that breaks almost every rule we thought governed galaxy formation. Under normal circumstances, galaxies contain gas and dust orbiting a central region, and only a small portion, usually less than 10%, ever turns into stars. But Webb has now identified 3 early universe objects that seem to have done the impossible. Spectroscopic data suggests they converted all of their surrounding material into stars. Every atom, nothing left behind. According to standard cosmology, that shouldn't be possible. These findings have left astronomers deeply unsettled. How could such objects form so early? Why do they look nothing like what our theories predicted? Some researchers are now considering a radical possibility. Maybe these objects aren't galaxies at all, but something entirely new. And if they are galaxies, the implications are even more dramatic. It would mean that the Big Bang model, as we currently understand it, cannot explain how massive, fully formed systems appeared just a few million years after the universe began. For now, the truth is both simple and unsettling. No one really knows what these objects are. And with that, we'll leave it there for today. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive, and don't forget to share your thoughts on what you think these mysterious objects could be.